Hello and welcome to Bonfire Conversations. So, today we have with us a personality who is quite accomplished, very multifaceted, someone who has glittering academic credentials. Just to name a couple of them, he has a master's in business administration, and to top it off, he also holds a PhD in management studies. Quite an influential faculty, someone who has left an indelible mark in the field of academics. Apart from this, he's also someone who has designed and delivered, high impact training modules for various companies, and as a result of which, he's also a sought after corporate trainer. So, without any further ado, let's welcome to the show Dr. Prasad Kapileshwari.
Hi.
Hello, Prasad. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Hello.
So, I must say it's really a privilege to have you with us. Now, I know, actually, I wanted to schedule this episode sometime back itself, but due to some unavoidable reasons, this had to be delayed. So, I'm really glad that this episode has actually materialized because on a personal note, I was really looking forward to hearing from you. So, again, glad that this is finally happening. So, welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and honored to be here. Honored to be called up on on a show where I could share my views and opinions. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I must say the pleasure is all mine to have such an accomplished personality over here. So, sir, we actually have quite a bit of ground to cover. So maybe let's get the show on the road. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So normally, what I do is in my episodes, I have various segments, just for ease of discussion.
Mhm.
So I just thought maybe we can start off with your academic journey.
Okay.
Now everyone knows that you already have an MBA, PhD, and many other qualifications. I just want to know, was MBA and maybe gradually getting a PhD, was this always part of the plan? Or let's say a kid who has just come out of 10th standard, did you have MBA in mind or the story is a bit different?
Yeah, well, no, growing up then, it is usually going by the flow. So after 10th, it was more of picking up a domain where friends are moving. So it was like if so I picked up science, which by the way was never my domain because my friends picked up and they said like we all do science, even you join us for science, and I said okay, fine, science. And then I realized after 1 year like science was never my cup of tea.
Right. Yeah,
And
no,
that's when
I think back then, I think science was like the trend, right?
yeah,
So even
very
the
much.
parents wanted their kids to be either doctors, engineers, something like that.
Yeah, no, one nicer thing about my parents here was like they were okay about
Hmm.
whatever I want to choose. So that liberty was always given to
Okay.
me. But then basically
You,
didn't have much of directions to give. There was
okay.
nobody to direct and tell me ki, like what are my strengths
Hmm.
and where I can land in kind of a thing. So I just
Hmm.
picked up science. Friend said pick up, and then I realized where science will take me to. Yeah.
So I'm just imagining, you are in the world of, say, Newton's laws of motions.
Yeah,
Then you have, trigonometry, calculus,
absolutely.
and then from there you suddenly land with
Into
management
management.
subjects. So it's
Yes.
like a drastic change. So you completely change tracks, right?
True, true, true. Yeah, like they say, right from the broad gauge to possibly a different gauge that a train runs through. I mean, I got derailed completely from what was once considered most happening thing, and then moved into something. But then I'm really happy. Okay, I know I landed into a
Hmm.
management domain because that's where my
Okay.
strengths lie. That's
Hmm.
where my
Okay.
strengths lie. So I am very happy that I got into a proper profession which suits my credentials or my strength. So
Right.
that way, yeah.
So is it like 1 year in science you realize that probably this is not what you want to do, and maybe you need to take up something else? So it was a
No,
gradual
it wasn't like
realization.
that. Yeah, in the first year itself, I realized that maybe I may not be able to sustain a lot of these type of subjects. So I completed my PU 1 and 2 in science, and then I moved to BBA.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Picked up
So
BBA.
again for BBA, did you have, anybody guiding you, or it is something which you thought on your own? How was it?
Well, no, see, when I completed my PUC, I felt like BBA is a domain where I should land in. So I just landed in BBA. And then I had a professor,
Okay. Hmm.
Professor M. Shetty. He's next to my father. Today he's, I
Okay.
think,
Okay.
88, 89 years old. He's settled in Pune for
Oh,
some time for the health reasons.
okay.
And he was the one who basically handholded me a lot in all that I am. I mean,
Hmm.
most of my credit I would want to give, my career credit, I would like to give it to Sir because the teacher in me was sown by him. Otherwise, never I
Okay.
had a thought in mind that I will end up being
Hmm.
a teacher or a professor kind of a thing. Never. So it was
Okay.
he. I remember it was I was in my BBA second year, and he used to visit a lot of other colleges nearby in like Sankeshwar, Nipani, and all. So he used to
Okay.
take me
Okay.
along with him on the Sundays. Yeah, because he used to take an extra
Oh,
hour on the Sundays. And he used to teach the juniors. Like when I'm in my second year, he used to teach the juniors. And he used to take a break
okay.
of 1 hour, and then he used to tell me in advance what subject, what is the content I need to cover further. So when I was in my second year of
Okay.
BBA, I used to teach the first
Hmm.
year BBA kids.
Oh, so that journey began in during graduation itself.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it wasn't like by choice or
Hmm.
something. I realized that this
Hmm.
came to me as a responsibility that Sir gave. And
Okay.
eventually that became my strength. Started realizing like this
Hmm.
is what I always wanted to do. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
he,
tell
that's
me
why I said
something.
he made me a teacher basically. Yeah.
Teacher. Okay. Okay. So we'll definitely discuss more on that. But just coming back a little bit, I want to understand from you, this transition from science to something like BBA. So how easy or difficult was that transition? So I'm sure there must be some adjusting period initially, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you're
yeah.
studying completely different subjects.
True, true, true. Yeah, 2 years of continuous technical bombardment like physics, chemistry, geography, then our trigonometry,
Biology.
maths, and then biology. And then all of a
Absolutely.
sudden, you see you are landing into something which is more of theory, more of philosophy, more of managing kind of a
Yeah,
thing. First,
correct.
first sem it was a little difficult, especially subjects like
Hmm.
accounts and all was a new ball game for me because then
Hmm.
again,
Yeah,
but one nicest
understandable.
thing that happened was Sir. I mean, he was a person in finance, and he was an LLM, so he used to, and also he had done his
Okay.
MCom in accounts and all those, so he did make me feel the subject at
Hmm.
ease. So that was a nice side of the thing.
Okay.
For the first
Okay.
1 2 months, I believe, yes, I did have a lot of issues in understanding what is happening, why, and all that. And then I think
Hmm.
after that I could manage to maneuver through easily. Yeah.
Okay. 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 So, see, obviously, once somebody gets into BBA, so I think MBA is considered to be the logical next step, right?
Yes.
So, was it
Yes, very
something
much.
similar for you as well?
Yes, yes, yes. That was very clear. Like when I got into BBA,
Hmm.
when I got into my second year, it was very clear to me that I want to land into doing an MBA. Like want to take
Hmm.
up an
Okay.
MBA and possibly do something into that domain. So that was very clear to me. I knew that. Yeah. That's a
Okay. So, I
very
think when you,
logical career option that I think
yeah,
MBA,
exactly.
MBA.
Exactly. So, I think once you get into BBA, then I think things became more clear for you, whether this
Yes,
is the path you
yes,
should be taking and this is where you should explore your talents and skills and stuff like that.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
But now coming back to this teaching part, so how did it
Hmm.
happen that your professor give you
Hmm.
certain responsibility that maybe you have to teach a
Right.
subject or something like that? How did that happen?
See, it's like this now. If I have to put it up, say, if I have to say something about it, like how did it come to me? Uh, Science was never my cup of tea. So when I
Right.
landed in BBA for the first full year, I was tested on a lot of platforms like the
Okay.
presentations or perhaps
Hmm.
giving certain event responsibilities. And I could manage
Okay.
to do my event extracurriculars and my this thing as well. What is this? Our academics as well, really well. So sir,
Okay.
somewhere I
Okay.
felt he developed that amount of trust on me कि भाई ये कुछ कर सकता है.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
तो subject भी मैं pick करता था. And mostly whenever he used to take me, he used to give me theoretical subjects. No numerical
Okay.
subjects and all. Numericals he
Ah,
used to
okay.
reserve it to himself. But I used to take most of
Hmm.
numericals. Like I used to take a bit of marketing sometimes, or maybe I used to take some
Hmm.
things into say law related part of it a little, which it
Okay.
requires. So and since he used to
Okay.
tell me in advance, I used to do my homework. So somewhere the
Okay.
first time when I was
Okay.
doing it, it was scary because it was
Understandable.
doing something. Yeah, but then
You walk to a classroom and everybody's looking at you.
and what
This
yeah, मतलब just
what
1 year
is
का
wrong?
difference है ना मेरे और उनके बीच में मेरे 1 year juniors है.
That's true. That's true.
So why will they anyway want to take me seriously? Because anyway, I'm just accompanying him. I'm doing that,
And they'll be
that
wondering,
assistantship.
what is our senior doing with, being a subject teacher or something like that.
True, true. No, but then the feedbacks were good. So that's when
Okay.
sir started telling me ki, like your feedbacks are good. They are liking not all of
Hmm.
them though, but at least out of a class of 40, say somewhere around
Hmm.
120, 25 people say like yeah he manages to teach that
Hmm.
concept well. And that's when I started realizing ki, like when I'm getting a very good positive response, that means maybe I
Hmm.
should explore it more and more. So then the journey began. Like the third sem onwards, I
Hmm.
started. The third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, all four sems, I used to go with him wherever he used to go, and it used
Hmm.
to be happening like say once in 2 months, yeah, or at least sometimes
Okay.
once in a month also.
Okay.
So once or twice in a month also. So that was really a
Okay.
nicer thing to me. Yeah.
So you used to even go with him to other colleges and maybe even take classes there as well?
Yeah, it was only for the other colleges. For my own college, I never took that
Ah,
chance.
okay.
It was only
Okay.
for the other college. So he used
Only
to
for
go
the
to
other colleges.
Sankeshwar.
Okay.
Yes, yes. He used to go to Sankeshwar. He used to go on Sundays.
Hmm.
Saturdays and
Right.
Sundays is what he used to go. So those are the times when he used to say, "Come along with me." So I used to tag along, and then he used to
Hmm.
go, and then
Okay.
I used to take.
Okay. Okay. So I think then after completing BBA, as you said, MBA was the logical next step,
True.
right?
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
you might have given some MBA entrance and got into this course.
Yes, PGCET was one that had just begun that year. It
Hmm.
was year 2004, and PGCET
Okay.
was
Okay.
something they had just introduced. So
Okay. Okay.
previous to PGCET, there used to be some other exams like
Hmm.
private exams that they used to do. Colleges used to have their
Hmm.
own exams, but
Own
fortunately,
exams, yeah, own entrance exams.
centralized it. Yeah, fortunately, the KEA centralized all these, and they said let all the colleges come
Hmm.
under one exam, and that's where PGCET came in. And then I did
Hmm.
perform well. There was somewhere around 15,000 kids appearing all over Karnataka. Because that time the number of colleges also were very
Okay.
few. Belgaum, I remember there were
Right.
only two colleges. One was IMER and one was
Okay.
V. So these were the only two
Right.
colleges in
Right.
IMER,
So very
in
limited
Belgaum.
options.
Yes, yes.
Correct.
And IMER had 90 seats
Hmm.
and VTU, I believe, had 60
Hmm.
seats. So the whole of Belgaum
Okay.
used to
That's
have
about it.
close to around 141, 160 seats. That's it. So, and
Hmm.
all over the Karnataka, I believe some 10 to 15,000 maybe roughly.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
So then the
Okay.
entrance exams
So,
and then we moved in.
hmm, right. So anything you want to share from your MBA experience? So obviously it will be much more
Well,
detailed than what you learn for BBA.
yeah. Honestly speaking, BBA gave me a wonderful platform. Like, it always gave me
Hmm.
those stages where I could try my communication skills or presenting abilities or perhaps
Hmm.
work on my overall changing my personality. So those I got during my
Okay.
BBS. Then the
Okay.
MBA fine-tuned those skills for me. And I feel
Hmm.
proud that, I did
Right.
my MBA from KLS IMER Belgaum, and which
Right.
was way back in 2004 and 6. And I again would like to credit most of my fine tuning to my teachers then. We had
Hmm.
a
Right.
fantastic set of teachers with us then.
Hmm.
In fact, they some of them are still there with the institute. Some of them retired.
Okay.
But then I would like to
Okay.
credit my teachers as well because they did handhold and also fine tune a lot of things for me. And again, there also I could manage to click because I always was having a good stage presence. So
Okay.
kind of an
Okay.
selective extrovert though, but I always to manage
Hmm.
to take up stages whenever I used to get a chance. So represent college
And
at
I think
events or
in Yeah, in BB also you are involved very closely in managing events and things like that. That must have
Yes,
definitely
yes.
come in handy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So most of the times, BB also, a lot of events that we used to organize, I used to be into the main
Right.
organizing body. So knew the nitty-gritties
Okay.
of an event, and
Right.
that possibly helped me understand how and what of the event, and for that matter, generally. So I think
Hmm.
both my institutions, my degree as well as my this thing, did give me a wonderful platform. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think faculties play a very critical role, right, in
Yeah.
developing our overall personality. So they're quite influential that way. And
Yeah.
some
Very true.
faculties
Very.
leave a everlasting mark, right?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
I
In
feel
fact, I
so.
always say this. Some of my friends, whenever we meet, they make fun of me, saying like I'm working with Jain now for the past, I don't know, 17 years. They make fun of me like, what is this? How long are you going to stay there? Don't you get bored with the subjects? I mean, I have only one thing to tell
Correct.
them. I mean, see, you may be
Hmm.
working on softwares or maybe the processes
Hmm.
which might bring in
Yeah.
some technological innovations here and there, which by the way, again,
Hmm.
is standard. Okay, I'm dealing with
Hmm.
60
Okay.
brains. Okay, every year 60 brains,
Totally
and which
different.
by the way
Totally
is not a
different.
standard process. Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
So I
Absolutely.
think that's a challenge, and that's the
Hmm.
generations that are going to come in India and go will always be fine tuned by the teachers. So I always believe that
Hmm.
teacher
True.
grows a basic. Yeah.
True. So I think there's an interesting point. So you got into academics, right? So did you have, did you straight away get into academics, or there was something else, or how was it?
After MBA, I was selected through a campus recruitment, and I was working with
Okay.
a insurance firm in Belgaum itself. They put me up, went for
Okay.
a training into Chennai, and then came back to Belgaum, and because this was my Belgaum location, and then somehow it
Mm.
was nice. I was doing good with the insurance
Mm.
firm for at least 7 8 months, and then
Okay.
as what the companies are known for, they change your job
Mm.
description whenever they feel
Job
it's
description.
necessary. So it
Correct.
turned out to be totally different than what I was told I was supposed to be doing. And then that's
Okay.
where, I
Okay.
felt like maybe this is not what I wanted to do. Even if I'm working, I didn't want it to land into a profile which is not my strength.
Mm.
Because see, I'm going
Correct.
against my strengths, and possibly I might do it. I might still manage to pick. But I don't think so. I
Mm.
would be very happy doing it. Look, I would tend to hit that boredom or dead end very soon.
Yeah, and the interest level also drops, right? If you're not doing something of your interest, the interest level definitely drops.
True, very true, very true. So that's when I gave it a thought. Ki, let me try teaching, or let me get into this. So I went and met
Okay.
a couple of professors, principals of local
Mm.
colleges, and then I
Mm.
remember I had been to meet Professor Kalkundrikar sir,
Mm.
a
Okay.
thorough gentleman, and
Okay.
he was a principal at Gopte College. And
Okay.
he took my resume and he said, right now we don't have any openings, but if there is anything,
Okay.
I'll definitely refer your name.
Mm.
And I said,
Right.
fair enough. Meanwhile, I was still with
Mm.
the bank, the insurance firm that I was
Yeah.
working. I was still there.
Yeah.
And then one day I get a call after 15, 20 days, I get a call from VTU, the main university campus,
Okay.
of one
Okay.
of the a lady who was the HOD there. I believe it was Nandini madam.
Okay.
She was the
Okay.
HOD, and she gave me a call and she said, Prasad, I got your resume from Kalkundrikar sir. He referred your name,
Oh,
and
wow.
I
So he had.
wanted to talk to you. That's the thing, a very nice part
Mm.
of it, in fact. So he did
Mm.
refer, and then I went and met her, and she said there is a
Mm.
disaffiliated university, and you need to
Mm.
possibly take up a session for them, a subject. You know,
Mm.
so
Okay.
a limited time
Okay.
given to me, same 30 hours,
Mm.
35 hours or something, and they said like finish.
Okay.
So that's where I got my first assignment of only 30 35 hours. I had to complete a whole subject.
The whole syllabus. Okay.
Yes, yes. It was quite daunting. I didn't, I
Mm.
personally, even today, when I look back into my work done then, I say I was way too mediocre. Because the 35 hours covering a
Yes.
syllabus was not really a good thing.
Mm.
See,
Understood. Understood. So I think normally when a person gets their MBA, so most of them would take a corporate route,
yeah.
right? So, and a lot of them will manage their family-owned business or something like that. So you took a completely different path, right? You are on a completely different path as compared to other management graduates, right?
Right, right, right. So,
So after this,
why like
just
that? Is it? Why
not
this kind of
exactly
a move?
why,
Hmm.
but what prompted you to be in this field? So you were already working for a company,
Right,
right?
right,
And normally what happens is, say, if you are been given a job description which is not of your interest, so a lot of people switch companies and they look for
absolutely.
something which is of their interest. But that didn't
Right,
happen with
right.
you. So
Ah,
I think
right.
what you were doing in BBA, probably it was somewhere at the back of your mind. I'm not sure. So that came to the forefront. Was it something like
Absolutely.
that?
Yes, yes. See, my me being a teacher was already something that was tried and tested. And
Okay.
somewhere by the end of my BBA, I had already done a good job being a maybe a assistantship for my professor in terms of whatever little I could do.
Yeah.
That had
Hmm.
been appreciated well by the students and as well as my professor. So personally, I felt
Hmm.
largely there. There I felt like when I had to shift from the insurance
Hmm.
firm, I felt the best option here is let me get into something I'm really known to do
Hmm.
previously.
Okay.
So that's where I
Okay.
said, like, any which way, this 35 hours were something that also gave me further
Hmm.
confidence that yes, this
Yeah.
is where I want to land in. But I
Correct.
thought, like, what's wrong to try? I mean, 35 hours, let me see.
Hmm.
I mean, I can do that. I
Correct.
can finish that in just 1.5 months to 2 months max. And in
Right.
case if this clicks good or else, I'll look out for something else in corporate. But somehow this
Something
clicked.
else. Yeah. This clicked.
Somehow
Yeah.
this really
And
clicked
that
for
I
me.
think served like a stepping stone for you for
Absolutely.
your rest of
Absolutely.
the career.
True, 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 true.
Hmm. So then I think probably one thing led to another and you landed with Gen MBA department, right?
Yes. Yeah. Then I was almost for, you can say 6, 7 months, did a lot of freelancing. So used to visit various
Okay.
colleges and used to just take subjects, teach and come back.
Hmm.
So this is
Okay.
what I was
Okay.
doing. And then
Hmm.
somewhere with Jain, they gave me a call and they asked if I could join. That was 2007.
Okay.
I believe
Okay.
it was, yeah, again, Jain also I started with visiting. And then I think
Oh,
it was September 5th on a teacher's day itself, they asked me to join full time.
oh wow, what a fantastic date, right?
Absolutely,
To get
absolutely.
confirmed as a full-time faculty.
True, true. A coincidence of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely a very sweet coincidence, I would say.
True. Yeah, so that's where no. Then I
Now,
landed with, and yeah,
so Dr. Prasad, actually, I have a couple of questions related to the field of academics.
right,
So I just want to get your take on this. See, now we have been talking a lot about the technological advancements, especially AI. So AI
right,
is something which has impacted almost every sector. No sector has been
mhm,
spared. So
right,
education is also not an exception.
true.
So, now we are in times where, students are using ChatGPT for their assignments.
Actually,
So,
actually.
so with this use of AI coming in, what is your thoughts? Obviously, there is pros and cons, but I
Mhm.
just would like to hear from you the impact of technology as such, and what are your thoughts?
See, we cannot shy away from the fact that AI is doing it far better, okay, in terms of giving information or giving solutions to the generations, whether it is medicine to academia to perhaps anything you say that, and they're doing it. We
Right.
can't shy away from the fact that this is wrong or not. It's absolutely a nice thing. It has to be that way. But
Hmm.
now, what I noticed, one thing about it is, though ChatGPT, like you said, the kids use assignments, for assignments they use
Yeah.
GPT or they use Gemini or DeepSeek.
Hmm.
What I've realized is the usage of brains on how
Hmm.
to use the answers that GPT or the
Yeah.
AI models give you is lacking.
So,
Okay?
what prompt should be used to get the right answer? So, you're saying somewhere
No,
that
the
is. Hmm.
prompts are no, they use the prompts right.
Hmm.
That way they're
Okay.
smart to use a prompt right. But what to
Okay.
do with that assignment? How to now I'll give you an instance.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
recently, I was taking up a presentation of a group of students, and I
Okay.
had given them some topic which was related to HR. It just struck
Okay.
me very immediately when I just saw the content that they had put, and the content was simply amazing, and it was easily
Hmm.
understood. It is picked up from some generative model. Okay, a GPT
Understood.
or
Yeah.
some other
Mhm.
generative
Some
model.
LLM model, yeah, they must have used.
Yes, yes. So, they had put some fancy words. So, just I tried asking them questions on those fancy words. How does it
Okay.
happen? And they didn't know how to do it.
Got it.
So, what I'm looking at AI is definitely going to help you to set the foundation, but how much
Hmm.
of it to apply, where to apply, and possibly
Hmm.
the penetration of it into your areas, into your domains,
Hmm.
irrespective of which domain you fall into. I think there the human intelligence should come to play, the wisdom should come to play. Yeah.
So it should
Otherwise,
be a combination. That's what you are getting at.
very much. Otherwise, believe me, I mean, what I have seen with this, with the Gen Zs of late is like they use all this,
Hmm.
but they don't know the
Correct.
application side of all those.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but AI has penetrated deep into this, and we as professors or facilitators, I think, have to go
Hmm.
beyond. So, even when
Hmm.
I'm making my content, sometimes when I hit across a dead end to a couple of things, because see, I go the traditional way. I mean, I hit the
Right.
books first, okay, then go to the Google, and then if books and Google also is
Hmm.
confusing me, then maybe I might prefer an AI related tool. It could be GPT or
Got
so,
it.
because it
Yeah.
simplifies it further. Okay, so I go the traditional
Absolutely.
way. So
Hmm.
what I'm noticing is because we do these type of the ground realities, we work
Hmm.
on those ground
Hmm.
things, so we are able to defend the applications really well
Okay. Okay.
of whatever we have studied, But the coming generations, I don't think so because they're not doing the hard work. They directly want to hop to the
Got
smart
it.
work, but
This, yeah, I think the first step is go to ChatGPT or Grok or something like that, or Google
yeah.
Gemini. That is the first step always with
I
them.
always, always. No, but I and you come from a different generation. So I think we first
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
the books, go to the library, see the
absolutely.
books,
You first do
yeah,
the
and
groundwork
then
first.
the groundwork, and then maybe what models are available, what is there, which books, which authors, okay, and then maybe then come to at
To,
the end we may come over to that
yes,
space.
yes. Maybe to fine tune things, we might
Yeah,
make use of that. But as
perhaps.
you
Yeah,
mentioned, we hit first. That's always step one.
always, always, always.
Somewhere, if somebody directly goes to a LLM model like ChatGPT, maybe
Mhm.
somewhere the creativity is getting curtailed. So that could
Yes.
be a result, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, because it is absolutely not giving you any scope to go beyond the thinking of what you hold.
Mm,
Like now, if
correct.
I and you will read a book, we read a passage, we read a page. So when we do the reading, you
Mm,
see, we infer something out of it, right? So
true,
that's where our creative abilities kick in, and then we just start
true.
connecting the concept to various other dimensions. So we have a holistic approach. Unlike these guys, it's all ready. It is just about thali parosi hai aur aapko khana hai.
Absolutely. So that is, one thing I wanted to gather your thoughts on. There is one more, interesting thing which is happening right now. So we have all this, digital online courses which are coming up, which are already there in the market. So, we
Mhm.
have various websites like, say, Unacademy. So there is
Yeah.
Udemy. So there is
Mhm.
Upgrad. So they are giving all these digital online courses and they are even issuing certificates for that.
Right, right,
Plus,
right.
I have also read in the news that some of the recruiters, so they are
Mhm.
not really pressing so much on college degrees now.
Okay,
So some
okay.
of them they are only mapping the skills which the candidate has to the job description. So even
Point.
if they don't have a college degree as such, that is
Mhm.
not a deterrent anymore, at least for few recruiters. So
Absolutely.
do you
Mhm.
think somewhere down the line, these digital online courses will actually get more popular or something like that? What's your take?
It is again domain specific. Maybe not all the
Mm.
domains, the online education that we are seeing, it may not penetrate into all the domains. It would
Okay.
preferably be helpful for, that's my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong also here, but
Right.
how I look at it, it is catering to the service industry, I feel. So all
Okay.
these the the online certifications that we are seeing these days, or the
Mm.
companies, they help you in understanding most of the service oriented courses.
Right. Right.
So I think that where there they may really still click, they may do a lot because they again they themselves
Hmm.
are process driven, they themselves are software driven, which by the way work
True.
from home does. Yeah, so there they definitely click
Hmm.
well. But when it comes to the
Okay.
brick and mortar, or we can call it as the manufacturing side of the domain, there I
Manufacturing
don't think
sector, yeah.
there they
Hmm.
cannot
That
do
may not
because
work.
hands-on it
Correct.
doesn't come at all.
True.
Hands-on doesn't come.
True.
So
I
domain
think
specific,
probably,
they do penetrate. Yes.
hmm. I think probably this is a space we need to wait and watch.
Yeah.
What developments take place, in which direction things go. Probably we'll have to
Right.
play a waiting game on that one.
Perhaps yes, yes, yeah. Maybe it needs to develop further to see how much acceptance may come in for such things also. Yeah.
Hmm. True, very true. So, sir, I think we have spoken a lot about the academic journey. There
Right.
is, second segment which I have, and this is also going to be interesting one. In fact, I have a lot of questions on this. So,
Okay.
this is about the corporate training part.
Yeah.
So now we have already established that you got an MBA. You had a short stint in the corporate world, but then
True.
you always had the teaching at the back of your mind. So you got into academics. So how did
Yes.
corporate training happen?
This happened in the year 2015. See,
Okay.
every profession, irrespective of how much it caters to your strength, you come across certain monotonous or monotony at a point
Hmm.
of time. Okay, so so when I started realizing ki, like, there's a lot of monotony in terms of the subjects, or for that matter, sometimes when it
Okay.
comes to the crowd that I'm handling, or a lot of things. And again, with academia, one biggest drawback is that the syllabus that is designed is again framed by the university, and we have to compulsorily
True.
stick ourselves into it. So that is one of the reasons where monotony kicks in. So we are not, we are
Hmm.
bound by that framework and we cannot go beyond it.
Correct.
And
So
that's
you
where
have
monotony
no
kicks
say in what should be taught, what
in.
unit should be included, things like that.
Yeah, no say, and more importantly, even if we have a say, there are a lot of
Hmm.
other reasons behind why the university also even willingly wants to, they can't do. Because they have these
Okay.
credit
Okay.
systems, they have a
Right.
certain board of studies who are having restrictions, then again there's a time frame. A lot of other factors are also reasons behind why they cannot go ahead and make an a 360-degree turn for academia in terms of introducing
They have their
students.
own limitations.
Absolutely. So how I looked at it is like, if this is where it's going to become a monotonous, then I think I might start feeling bored very, very quickly. And that's when in
Okay.
2015 I felt like, let me start
Hmm.
something different. And the first
Okay.
break came to me from one small institute who gave me 2.5 hour training, or I think it was 3 hour training, and they paid me 2,500 rupees. Okay, as a
Okay.
remuneration for it.
Okay.
And I said, like, let
Got
me
it.
try. Nothing wrong to try.
Hmm.
Okay, and that's when
Absolutely.
I liked that. I started liking that. I felt like it's not the money there, but I started getting a different kick, you can say, in terms of
Hmm.
the kind of
Got it.
learning that was coming in, the challenge that was there in
Hmm.
the job. That was something which was interesting, and that's when I started gearing up my skill sets to be a trainer.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Okay.
I picked up certifications. Then I picked up
Hmm.
some, and most of my certifications then were all offline. I preferred offline. They were online available
Okay.
too,
Okay.
but offline I
Hmm.
preferred because I was just learning some new skill, and it could be nice if they would
Hmm.
teach me in front, like sit in front, get my doubts clarified, show some things, demonstrate it, and get rectified. So I picked up those certifications from Bangalore and other organizations in and around the cities, and that's where my skills started changing from a faculty or a teacher to a facilitator,
Hmm.
to a trainer. Sorry, trainer. Yeah.
In fact, in your profile, I've seen a couple of interesting things. So it also mentions that you have, done something on neuro linguistic programming. There is also some
Right.
mention of psychometric analysis. So can you tell us,
Yes.
what is this about?
Well, this psychology ka kida was always there somewhere deep in my mind. कि like I used to like
Okay.
this mind reading, or I used to do this. I used to like, not do, but I used to like it then, way back. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm talking about
Right.
2015 or maybe
Right.
even before that. And somehow my
Hmm.
intuitions used to be most of the times right. So I used to feel like yahi hoga kuch psychology or something.
Okay.
so so that's where, when I started taking up my train the trainer program from the institute called Oscar
Hmm.
Murphy in Bangalore, they suggested me,
Okay.
Prasad, you can extend this training program to take up other two trainings, which were psychometric
Okay.
assessments and design
Hmm.
training kind of a thing. So psychometric
Okay.
analysis, when I did with that organization Oscar Murphy, I think that was a first step for me to move towards the world of psychology and understand how it happens, what happens, kind of a thing. Yeah. So that's when slowly I started
Okay.
picking up few certificates here and there, and NLP was one of the
Hmm.
certificates. Neuro linguistic programming again. Yeah.
It's quite interesting. I mean, very different from management subjects.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. By
So,
and large,
can you
it's
tell us?
like this. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Hmm.
You were saying something.
No, no, you first complete. So I had a follow-up question on that. So maybe we will
Acha.
come back to it.
Okay, no, nothing. I was just trying to say that, see, when we talk of psychology, right, as a domain, psychology
Right.
can be applied into almost all the domains. You talk about engineering to
Okay.
medicine to
Hmm.
management to schooling, and it comes
Right.
everywhere. So I just try
Right.
to top up management with a psychology knowledge. So I'll be able to handle
Okay.
kids at a level,
Hmm.
corporate clients at a level, counseling at a level.
Hmm.
So that way I could do. So that's why management was topped up by a psychology degree, I can say.
Psychology. So it's like an additional skill set which can be beneficial for you as a corporate trainer.
Yes, yes, very much, very much.
So can you tell us something about these modules or these corporate trainings which you have? So I think does it depend on the company's request, or it is more to do with say team building or something to do with enhancing the employees' productivity or performance? So what kind of
Mhm.
trainings are these?
See, usually what happens with trainings is when the clients approach me, all these corporates, when they approach me, they come with some need. And this need, what they have identified, has been identified because of the performances of the employees on their workplaces. Somewhere, perhaps the
Okay.
employees were not great in their performance, or maybe some feedbacks are given by the bosses or the clients, their
Okay.
clients, that ये employees को ये training दोगे तो हो सकता है कि वो थोड़ा और better कर सकते हैं, kind of a thing. So that's where, they come when
Okay.
they come to me with a
Okay.
need. And then in case
Hmm.
if I'm having a content ready for that, I do. I do the
Okay.
training, or else I also design the content, because I had a certification on
Right.
training. So I used to design the content, and I take some time for designing the content, like say 15-20 days, and then I test
Hmm.
that content if the content is really good
Okay.
enough. At various platforms, I try testing, whether it is at the college level or maybe at a couple of. So I do that testing, and
Okay.
then I float the module to the corporates.
So I think it is mostly need based.
Yeah, mostly need based. Mostly need based.
And I think it mostly revolves around something to do with employees in
Yeah,
most
majorly
cases.
employees, and it is also, most of the times
Hmm.
it is a performance driven need.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. So, like, I'll give you
okay.
an instance if I have to put in more
Hmm.
light on this. Uh,
Sure.
I how we look at it is, say there's this employee. If say you are a manager of a firm and you are asking some people to manufacture products and say, come up with a standard of products. Maybe your employees
Okay.
are giving you the products, but they have minute defects,
Hmm. Right.
and maybe those defects are the reasons because they are not trained well on the machine, or perhaps
Okay.
they are not well versed about how to operate on a different type of material that they have in hand. So that's when
Okay.
the manager starts realizing that maybe I need to help that those employees with some
Hmm.
trainings. So the
Hmm.
manager can decide if it is a behavioral related training or a technical training. That is up to them
Hmm.
to decide. So most of the
Okay.
times, behavioral
Okay.
related trainings come to me. If it is technical, they may
Got it.
handle it internally.
Internally, right. Right. So, situations where they feel that the productivity is getting hampered because of some behavioral reasons. So that is where you come into picture.
Yes, yes, very much, very much.
Okay. Okay. It's quite interesting. So you had this first chance with I think a small setup, right? A 3 hour
Yeah,
slot.
very. Yeah.
So after this, is it like word of mouth? So if they are somebody
No,
satisfied with
after the
having you as a
first
corporate
training I
trainer,
did,
or
No, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I cut you short there.
No, no,
No,
please go
actually,
ahead.
see,
Go ahead.
after the first training, right, there was a total
Hmm.
roadblock. There was nothing that came to
Oh,
me
is it?
at least for 6, 7 months because I had not done any homework, any publicity as such. And
Ah,
then
got it.
again,
Got
someday,
it.
some of the friends were just speaking to me and they said, like, I just told them, कि अरे
Hmm.
मैंने ऐसे ऐसे कुछ training किया. Then they just said, like, अरे why don't you do it in one of my friend's firm? His father was also other day telling me
Hmm.
something like this. So that's where,
Okay.
my
Okay.
actual training began. And then the word of mouth started. Yes.
So you did not put yourself out there, in a
No.
nutshell. So
And I
there was
never
a
tried. I never
huge
went to
gap
market
after that.
myself, brand myself. I never did that.
Hmm.
It was
Okay.
just that the quality I used to deliver, the word of mouth started spreading. And that's where, I started getting
Hmm.
most.
Okay.
I mean, you'll be
Okay.
surprised,
I think
and
that is
maybe
something.
people may not, you may be surprised, and maybe people may
Hmm.
possibly not believe if I say this, but I have not spent any money on my advertisements or like
Okay.
to publicize my
Hmm.
content. Or no, I think
Right.
recent days, just because I'm approaching the Fortune 500 companies for some training, so they want me to have some brochures and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So that's the reason
Okay.
why maybe now, a year and a half or two back, I must have designed my brochures and all that
Hmm.
content and all. But
Okay.
before that, it
Okay.
is even now, most of the things come to me through my references. So
Fantastic.
one training, they refer me to somebody else. So it's more of a snowballing that happens.
I think that is the best way things can happen, right? So it automatically gives you a validation that
True.
what work you're doing is going on really well with your clients.
True.
Mm. Quite interesting stuff. So actually, in your academic journey, I missed one point. So now I'll circle back to that. So I think it is after MBA, after you got into academics, then this thought came to you about getting a doctorate, or was it
Uh,
suggested by somebody? How did that happen?
See, being in academia, of late, having a doctorate is compulsory. Okay. Like now,
Okay.
at least after 2021 or 2022, I have seen that,
Hmm.
you've been to academia, you like it or you don't
Hmm.
like it, you have to.
You
You
have
have
to
to
have
hold a
the
degree. You have to have the
PhD. Okay.
doctorate degree. Maybe you may do nothing after that, or maybe the degree may not bring in
Hmm.
anything great to you, but you still have to have that.
Hmm.
Now, I
Hmm.
registered in 2015, and that time
Okay.
since I always wanted to be into the academia, I felt that's a need, and holding a
Okay.
doctorate degree was a choice for me then. Yes, yes,
Okay. So I think that also is a very elaborate process, right? So
yes,
there is
yes,
thesis
yes.
involved and things like that. Maybe can you just
Yeah.
shed light on, how this works?
Yeah. Now, what happens with PhD is like initially, and this process varies from university to university. Like a couple of
Okay.
universities, they have their own way, their own process. Like I did it in Vishweshwara Technological University, and way back in
Right.
2015, the process was simple. Appear for an entrance exam that the university conducts. So you clear that exam, and
Okay.
after that, you are supposed to identify your own guide and a topic that you want to possibly pursue your PhD into.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
they tell you to prepare a synopsis and they call you for a
Hmm.
presentation. So you're supposed to go
Okay.
there with your guide's name on your synopsis,
Hmm.
present it to
Hmm.
the panel of people, and if they feel that
Hmm.
the synopsis or the title is
Hmm.
good enough to taken further, they allow you to go
Hmm.
ahead and register. So while you put a
Okay.
registration to the university, then they give you a provisional registration. So this provisional registration is till where you get you do your coursework. So coursework way back
Okay.
then we had around four subjects, which are again domain
Hmm.
specific. One is common research methodology, and the other three subjects were domain specific. Like I was into
Okay.
HR, so I always picked up HR related subjects.
Right.
And then I cleared those. They give us 1 year to clear that subject, so we do clear that. And then there is
Hmm.
a time when we do the actual registration for a PhD. Okay,
So
and
till
that's
now
where
you are only in registration part.
I'm in the provisional registration. I'm a part of the PhD,
Oh
but
my
till I
God.
don't clear my
Okay.
coursework, I may not be considered as a scholar, a research scholar. I would be
Hmm.
considered as a PhD student who is still pursuing his this thing. What is
Hmm.
this coursework?
Right.
Yeah. After the coursework was cleared, then they asked me to propose the title once again. Okay, like whatever title I had
Okay.
proposed at the beginning in the synopsis, they asked me to propose that
Hmm.
again with a much more intense study on that. So I spent some good 6 months on a lot of data collection related to that topic, literature review, what
Hmm.
we call, and then I presented it. And
Okay.
then the panel again made a lot of changes in the title. So like the title was way too
Hmm.
elaborate, was too big, or perhaps
Okay.
the words were not properly arranged, or a lot of these things.
Hmm.
They look into because they're experts after all. So they did that, and
Right.
then told me this should be the title, and this is where you can take your research further. Yeah.
Okay.
So
It's a
ideally, the
very elaborate process, I would say.
very elaborate process, absolutely. And now there are two types again. One is full-time PhD, one is part-time. And I was
Hmm.
working in an institute, so I picked up a part-time. And part-time is four
Okay.
years, and full-time is a 3 years. Now that is on the so-called records to say so. Full time 3 साल में खत्म हो
Okay.
जाएगा और part time 4. I took 6 years to complete
Hmm.
my PhD because COVID hit in between.
Oh, so
When
there was
COVID came in
automatic a
between,
break.
true, true. So that was a biggest role. So by 2021, I got my PhD. Yeah.
Okay.
Registered in 2015. With the
Hmm.
2020 completely stopped because there was nothing that I could do because of
Correct. True.
the lockdowns and server all those. But yeah, 2021, I got my PhD. Yeah. So in this process is way too elaborate. So a lot of checks are done in between just to see that you're going on track.
True.
You're supposed to
Correct.
give a good amount of research papers. You're supposed to give a good amount of content for what you're proposing, and all a lot of elaborate process.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So actually, we do have, a couple of comments. There are a couple of hellos, and there is one comment from Vishal. He says, fantastic. So I think thank you so much.
Hey, thanks,
I think
Vishal.
all thanks
Thank you
to
so much.
Sir who has taken out time for this
Uh,
particular show.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
So, sir, I think we have discussed quite a bit about your academic journey and your
Yeah.
journey as a corporate trainer as well. I
Right.
do have a third segment, so which is
Mm-hmm.
again completely left to you. So,
Acha.
any memorable experiences, maybe
Oh.
as a faculty, as a corporate trainer, anything which stands out, anything which is still fresh in your memory, anything,
Mhm.
maybe good, maybe funny, maybe not so good, anything of your choice.
Yeah, this 18 years in academia and corporate training has been full of memories, honestly, full of memories. Like
Okay.
to start with, the first memory I remember, like I told you, those 35 hours I took, for this
Yeah,
VTU colleges. It starts
true.
from there. Again, the
Hmm.
age difference between me and those kids also was again just a difference of 2 years, at the most 3 years.
2 years, yeah, at the
So,
most.
and way back then, we were leaner. I mean, I was way too lean, okay, and
I
skinny.
think you're
I don't
still, you're
know.
still. So I don't know what is even leaner than
Yes.
this. I can't even imagine.
So then I was way too skinny, and then students were not
Okay.
ready to take. Were not ready to take
Hmm.
someone like me. Firstly, the stature wise, the physical stature wise, and on the top of it, the age difference. Right, just 2 years of
Yeah.
age. How do you want them to, look at you as that didn't happen. But yeah,
Hmm.
so a lot of rejections come to you initially in the form of like,
Okay.
ye to naya hai, he's a newbie, you know,
Hmm.
or he's a kind of
Okay.
a rookie, rookie in the domain. How can he run the show?
True.
What do you do? So those were some of the memories. But then fighting those was, in fact, I remember once it was a group of students who wrote a letter to the head of the institute saying that
Hmm.
he doesn't know to teach. He's really bad in his teaching skills,
Oh,
and he
really?
goes way too
Oh
fast. Oh
my
yes.
God.
So some of these experiences also where they have written it and given it to the head, but the head was way too considerate. He said like, I totally understand, Prasad. You are new to the domain. We'll give you another 6 months.
Hmm.
If you can
Okay.
improvise, do a little better. I think that
Hmm.
things can be
Okay.
so. So I learned some things the hard way also, in terms of the rejections like
Hmm.
these that I've got. So
No,
those
but
were
they
some of
straight away
the
wrote a letter.
they do, and signed by all. I think some 40 people
Oh,
must have
wow.
signed that letter because
It's like a petition which they made.
yeah. No, but the interesting thing comes now. They
Goodness.
did that and
Hmm.
assuming that, the head may throw me out, saying that, but the head had shown me the letter. He'd see this is the letter and these are the signatures. And now the head also went back to the class, I believe, and they spoke to
Hmm.
the class saying that, look, he's new, he'll improve, give him some time and all that.
Hmm.
And now the
Right.
funniest part of the story is they were scared all the while because will I take the grudge out on them because they've written a letter? Okay, will I play with the internal kind of a thing? That part of it.
So
But
they were
nicest
betting on the fact that they probably may not have to see you again, but that
way.
didn't happen. So it backfired
Oh.
on them to some
I
extent.
I was scared. The
Hmm.
good thing is, like I told you, my GM Shetty sir, who was my professor, he was the one
Hmm.
who taught me ethics in my teaching profession, irrespective
Okay.
of how
Okay.
the kid is. Keep your
Hmm.
tempo, keep your understanding that they are always kids, and kids
True.
only commit mistakes, and we as teachers and elders
Hmm.
have to forego and give them enough room to improve, and so that element of
Absolutely.
ethical conduct was shown in me nicely by Shetty sir. So this episode
Hmm.
that happened where they wrote a letter and all, it did hit me a little harder, but then I had to really think if this is the
Hmm.
start, then I think I'll have to. So no grudge per se, but I did learn a lot from that. So memories
Very
like
true.
these are there, which are hard, and they're funny
Hmm.
memories also. Absolutely funny memories about students. Uh,
So I think these are the situations where, as faculties, we have to be responsible. We have to take the high road, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So
Any
these were
funny
some of
memories
the.
you would like to share?
I have
Anything which
plenty.
comes to your mind?
uh, till you were a bachelor, you were always, especially in the teaching profession, I have seen this. You're always a
Hmm.
crush of many.
Okay.
You're a crush of many. So that is one thing which I used to
Hmm.
always sense.
Okay.
And
Understood.
so a lot of weird experiences through such things also used to come. Like, uh,
Okay. Okay.
in the answer scripts, they used to write saying that, "Sir, you look very cute. Please consider me for extra
This is in the
marks."
answer sheets.
I always write all these funny things. And way back then, these kids from the degree were way too notorious,
Hmm.
absolutely notorious
Okay.
kids.
And they have
So
also mentioned, please give some extra marks.
yeah, yeah, they used to
Okay,
have full
interesting.
because I don't know, they used to have that audacity to do that. You see,
True, I
so
think
funny.
back then people used to even write some songs in their answer sheets.
That too,
I think that
even today.
trend seems to have stopped. Even today it's there, is
Even
it?
now they do that.
I have
Yeah, they do.
not come across a lot of them.
No, the initial days I used to look fine, but then now, even at this time, they do. They do absolutely.
They
And
do that,
how
is
they
it?
write? Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. There's a very typical way of writing. The first
Okay.
paragraph is the content, the actual content, what the
Hmm.
question is asking you.
Hmm.
Then बीच में थोड़ा
Okay.
कुछ story आएगी, या फिर nonsense something which is not connected to the question at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. That is
And
that
then
is true.
the
That
conclusion
happens.
side of it, yeah, some content again.
Yeah. So they are betting on the fact that the faculty will skip the part in between and you'll be given at least, if not full marks, almost like 90% or something like that.
It could also be a fact that some teacher must have told them कि ऐसे लिखो marks मिल जाएंगे.
So you're saying the strategy also could have been given by a faculty itself.
Can't say. Perhaps yes.
Yeah,
And that got
yeah, quite
percolated
possible.
down the generations.
Quite possible. Hmm. Any other experiences or memories, not just
uh,
from academics, from corporate trainings, anything which you want to mention?
Corporate trainings are very tough. Because see, these people
Okay,
are already in the domain for many years. Like I
true.
remember taking up a training for it was an emotional intelligence, and
Okay.
it was a set of managers. Some 30 managers were there, or 25 managers were there, and these managers
Hmm.
had a minimum work experience of 15 to 20. They were well
My
traveled,
God.
they were well
Hmm.
read, okay, traveled across the world,
Right.
okay,
Right.
and they gave this emotional intelligence training, and I'm explaining them how emotional intelligence is important. And
Okay.
one manager is just not ready to accept the fact that emotional intelligence नाम का ऐसा कुछ होता है. He's saying like,
Okay.
why do you require emotional intelligence? Why should intelligence be required? Then I said,
Hmm.
do you converse with your wife at home? I said, yes, yes, I do every day. I said, how is the
Hmm.
conversation? What are the emotions that are seen? She's very happy when I converse with her, is what his reply.
Hmm.
No, no, no. His reply was, I am very happy when I'm conversing with her. Then I
Okay.
asked him,
Okay.
"Is she happy with you?" Conversing. So that was a shattering moment for him to realize like फाइन ये तो
Hmm.
एलिमेंट मैंने सोचा ही नहीं। तो ना अभी देखना
Hmm.
ज़रूरी है कि उसके तरफ का इमोशन समझने के लिए क्या किया जा सकता है। So
Hmm.
sometimes I have to use those risky bold talks to just cut the ice
Hmm.
harder. Otherwise breaking the ice with
True.
these because corporate का क्या प्रॉब्लम है, you come across these managers who are seasoned in the domains, they know the in and out of the
True.
job, and they believe what they know is the ultimate thing. That's the right thing.
True. And they somewhere feel, this young looking corporate trainer, what is this person going to teach me? Some people even have this kind of a complex.
Yes, yes. I
So
know it
initially
all.
they are not open to receiving whatever you're saying.
True.
So I think getting through to them, that's a big task, right? That's a big challenge.
Absolutely. Initially, I used to take corporate trainings for entry level in my managers. So I used to,
Okay.
but then eventually with time, like now from 2021, I have stopped taking entry levels.
Hmm.
I only on request I
Okay.
do entry levels, but I usually prefer the middle
Okay.
level trainings now. So it's always the
Okay.
managers and the senior
Right.
managers.
Right. Right. Quite interesting. So any other
Memories like
memories you have in
this, yeah.
this?
So some more
I'm sure you have plenty. I'm
plenty,
sure you'll
yes.
have plenty accumulated over the period of time.
One nice memory I want to share is the kind
Sure.
of awe the kids carry towards you. The day you have
Okay.
started proving your mettle, these students
Hmm.
tend to carry a great amount of awe for you in terms of
Hmm.
the knowledge you hold, the way you connect with them.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I have a couple of my students who maybe passed out 10 years ago, but even
Hmm.
today, they when
Hmm.
they are in Belgium or when they are in the hometown, they do make a point of receiving, calling, meeting,
True.
and I can
Hmm.
still see that they have that awe for us as teachers. So yeah,
Okay. Okay. I think that is
that's
probably the
the
biggest
nicest thing.
satisfaction a person has as a faculty, right?
Absolutely, there's no match to it.
True.
I always say money can't buy that type of satisfaction.
Hmm. Definitely. And even the satisfaction that you have once you finish a particular class.
Right.
So even I think that kind of satisfaction is that way very rare, right? And
Yes.
obviously
Yes.
seeing your students go occupy, higher level positions and still remember you. I think that is
Yeah.
probably the biggest achievement you will feel that, you have
Right.
got in life.
True. 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 That I think is the biggest treasure that we
Hmm.
hold.
Absolutely. So great, sir. I think we have, discussed quite a bit. I do have, one question for you. See,
Right.
anyone who is, say, a budding MBA or planning to get into management or planning to get into academics, is there any specific advice that you would like to, give them? Maybe from your experiences, anything that could help.
A couple of them. First thing, if they want to get into academia, okay,
Okay.
until and unless you're not rest sure that you want to land into academia, don't get into.
Okay.
Because if you're not getting an opportunity in the corporate world and hence you want to get into academics, I think that's a blunder one would create. Because
Hmm.
see, in
True.
academy, because I have seen that with many of them. Now, I was very clear that करना है तो यही करना है because ये मेरे
ये करना है.
strengths थे
Right.
हमेशा से. They were always my
Hmm.
strengths. Okay, so I
Right.
knew I'm banking on my strength, and hence I could perform extremely well in whatever I'm doing. Is what I know it today,
Hmm.
and way back then it was getting clearer to me. This is where I want to land in, settle
Okay.
in, kind of thing. But many a
Okay.
times when you do not have other opportunities, and hence चलो teaching कर लेते हैं. I think you're playing with the
Hmm.
generations.
True.
So that's one deadliest mistake one does is trying to look at it as an optional कुछ नहीं है तो ये है kind of a thing, and I think one should not do that.
So that should not be a fallback option or a plan B, plan C, something of that sort.
If it's academia, let it be planning.
Hmm. True. Otherwise,
So
you will not be able to do justice. And as you said, it is, about the career of the students, right? So if you do
students,
not
yes.
have your heart into it, then probably there's no point pursuing it.
I tell this to people, most of the students after a couple of years, they drop me a call and they say, sir, corporate bahut ho gaya, sir, abhi we want to join teaching.
Mm,
So I tell them of
mm,
one thing. I said, will you
mm,
carry the same energy of teaching the
mm.
subject even at 1 o'clock at night if I wake you and say, chalo class lena hai? अगर
Fantastic.
वो एनर्जी
Mm,
तुम कैरी कर सकते हो रात को 1 बजे भी कि वही
mm.
एनर्जी जो मॉर्निंग आप रखते हो और एंड ऑफ द डे और से
Correct.
द लास्ट डे आवर्स ऑफ द डे और मे बी द क्लोजिंग do you carry the same energy, do you keep the
Mm,
the students engaged? I think then yes, I think you should join because that's where
correct.
you
Mm,
but otherwise please don't. I think that's one.
mm.
Another advice I want to give is like these people who want to get into academia, learning is a continuous process, especially with
True.
academia, I would say. Yeah, because you have to
Absolutely.
keep updated yourselves, not just with your subject, but with geopolitics to perhaps to Indian government politics related to that
Yeah,
economy.
what's happening in the business world, Indian economy, global economy?
And especially where we are looking at the world today, I think the globalization is now become global. Yeah,
Yeah, true. True.
so largely, you see which point you are supposed to connect to which segment of the society you have to
Mm,
be about. So I think
correct.
people who want to get into academics, please don't forget your roots. That's your books. Get into hardcore reading. Okay.
Correct.
And try being a voracious reader, I would suggest. Like, at least try to finish one book a month. I can understand the work pressures, other work
Okay.
pressures are there. One book a month, and
Mm,
try keeping yourself updated with the current affairs of the country and maybe
mm,
news or upgrading your skill sets. That's absolutely
true.
important. Being a trainer, you have to, your journey has to start from a teacher to a trainer, to a facilitator, and to a coach, or to that level. So I
Mm,
think this journey that you set in is very
mm,
important.
true. Great, sir. So, anything with respect to students who plan to get into MBA and then getting into corporate route? Anything for them in case you have?
Yes, MBAs I have seen they join MBA, but then later when they
Mm,
have to opt their specializations, they opted because of two to three reasons, which is my there's no research that I have backing it up, but just a psychology that I've understood. First reason
okay.
is like my boyfriend or my girlfriend is going, so let me join, take up that specialization. Okay.
Very silly reason, right?
A very silly reason, or maybe because my friend is my best buddy is there, or he is a part
Mm,
of, and he may help me in doing that subject well. So let me take it.
subject,
That
right?
is one. The second is they hear a lot of trend, like there is specialized, a lot of finance jobs are available, a lot of
Mm,
media jobs are available now. डिजिटल
right.
मार्केटिंग है, डिजिटल मार्केटिंग स्पेशलाइजेशन ले लेंगे, अरे ये देखो कि वो
Mm,
क्या आप में वो स्ट्रेंथ्स है कि
correct.
उस डोमेन को आप आगे ले सके. Okay, so test your strengths in the sem 1 and sem
Mm,
2 of your MBA, and then take your specialization. Even for that matter, if there is only one of you guy standing out,
mm,
maybe you're the one meant to shine because you're standing with your strengths.
mm, true.
So it is ideal that you pick up that part of it. Yeah. Yeah. And
So
then
it's
corporate,
better
of
not
course,
to take
it's a
a.
rat race. Corporate
Yeah,
is an
yeah, yeah. It's
absolute rat race,
cutthroat.
according to me.
It's
There's a lot of
cutthroat.
money involved, but you tend to lose out on a lot of other aspects of the life as well. So you decide how are you going to balance your work and your life,
Correct.
because
Correct.
your work is not your life. Yeah, your
Yeah.
work is a part of your life. So I feel
Part of your
people have
life.
to genuinely
True.
understand work never becomes a life.
Hmm. So I think that's a very useful suggestion on the specialization part. So just because it's currently trending or there are more openings available, that doesn't necessarily mean you are interested in that or it is something which your skills will contribute to. So that is
Point.
something a student has to think before taking up the specialization.
Yes, yes,
I think that's
very
a
much.
very useful advice.
Yeah, yeah.
Great, sir. So I think this is pretty much what I had from my end.
Okay.
I think maybe we can wrap this up then.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Somitra, for having hosting me here for the talk. I feel I am still midway through my journey of trying to bring in change. But this, when I get an opportunities like these, this definitely
Hmm.
boosts my morale and gives me a much more determined opinion that what I'm doing is right. And I think I'll have to go with a much faster pace to do even more right things. So thank you for giving me this, because this gives me that confidence to do better. So thank you so much.
Trust me, the pleasure is all mine. It is always a pleasure to listen to you. I have heard you in different functions as well, where you have given addresses to students. So it is really a pleasure that you came on this show and you have passed on these nuggets of wisdom, which will, I'm sure, help a lot of students out there. So thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you so much again for your time. I would also like
Yeah.
to thank viewers who joined in today. And
Right.
in case you have any suggestions, any feedback, you can write to us on bonfirecon@gmail.com. And I would really love to hear from you. So I think that's it about today. So again, I would like to conclude by thanking Dr. Prasad Kapileshwari for being on this show
Thank
and
you.
probably wish everyone a good night.
Thank you.
So thank you, everyone.
Give more power to the podcast
Hmm.
to Soumitra, so that there are more viewers, and hope to see that you go national with this channel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your really kind words. I'm really overwhelmed right now. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.